Facebook.
Yay!
How's it going, Riz? My name is Peter Pan. Welcome to the world.
That was my intro. Isn't that sweet?
Beautiful.
Thank you. Watch out. Watch out. Oh.
Wasn't gonna run over.
All right, then. Aloha, everyone. Oh, yay. There's people on here. There's Molly. Molly, aloha. Oh, her hand is up. How awesome.
Hand is up.
Yay!
Aloha.
I don't see her.
Nope, she doesn't have her video on. But
Turn your video on, Molly.
I unmuted her. Wait, no, I didn't. Because I pushed unmute again and nothing happened.
Remuted her.
She has to unmute herself, too.
Oh, it says talking permitted. Okay.
Yeah, it's permitted, but that's not permitted. Unmute.
She has to unmute herself and click on her camera.
Okay.
Unmute yourself and click on your camera. Yay. Aloha, everyone.
I am not trying to talk, she says.
Oh, okay. That's
And welcome to the world.
Aloha. Oh, Thomas, aloha. Welcome. Thank you for joining. If anyone sees this live on Facebook, you can join by looking at my wall. Look at my wall, and there's a link to join here on the webinar. So yay. I see and hear you. I'm not trying to talk. Oh, yay. Okay. I'll put your hand down. Lower hand. Yay. All right. Welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson and Braun Johnson, coming to you from Hawaiian beaches, the Love Room in Hawaiian beaches on the beautiful big island of Hawaii. That's Hawaii, what he's saying.
Oh, before that, I was saying,
Oh, okay. So let's take a moment, everyone who's joining, take a moment to take a deep breath. You can make a funny sound if you want. Have a laugh in there if you like. It doesn't matter. Many times it's so helpful and so healing to just feel from the, you could say, the inside of your body, even though there isn't really an inside, but there is a sense of being inside a body. And it's amazing that we've got this sense of being in a body, and it seems like it's so real. And out of that sense of being in a body comes a whole world to relate with it.
it's a whole new world.
It's definitely a new world when you see it from the. Hey, Ron, are you a little bit quiet when I'm talking, sweetie? Thanks. So it is like a whole new world when everything is taken as vibration. Because that's what is really going on. It's vibrations interacting, kind of like sound. If you're talking, even if you're talking, you can sense the sound of your voice. It's the sound of your voice vibrating through your body. It's a tone. is like these energies interacting. When these bodies are apparently brought together, I like to say drawn together because it's more like a picture. It's like a picture. It's like these energies are drawn together in the form of bodies, and the bodies are brought together as if two separate bodies are brought together. But in reality, that's how this consciousness believes it can relate, by bringing bodies together, whether it's bringing bodies together or on the phone or text or anything like that. It's always through some kind of material way that it seems like that's how we communicate, but it's not really how we communicate. It's not really how we communicate, And, in that sense that the way we communicate is through bodies. That's what brings on all kinds of grief when there's a death, when there's an apparent death, Because it seems like now they're gone. And what's really more to the point, more truthful, is now they're more available. Now they're not perceiving that they're bound by limitations, that they're housed in a structure, a material structure that's basically born to die, born to get sick, have some conflict. There's some joys in there, of course. It wouldn't be tolerable if there wasn't. There could be a whole bunch of joy and fun and laughter and stuff. And then at the end, there's death. And along the way, there's all this sickness. For some more than others, but if not physical illness, then some kind of emotional uncomfort, mental, issues, you could say. But that's not us. That's not who we are. That's not how we create, let's say. That is not how we create. Our creation does not include what we've come to accept as reality in a perceived illusion. Okay? What we've come to accept as reality is a projection of a body sense. So basically there's this biological sensing of energies, and then there's a mental interpretation of that. Okay? The mental interpretation of the energies is always based on the past. And the past is nothing but a feeling right now. Nothing but a feeling right now. So whatever interpretation is being made, there's a feeling behind it. There's a feeling behind it. And just going to that feeling and letting it to gain intensity and then subside on its own, like it does every time. You're always promised that every feeling is going to subside on its own. You allow it to gain intensity and subside on its own. Those thoughts that are upholding that feeling, that thoughts are upholding that discomfort, they get resolved. They get resolved. There's a self-belief that's hurting. Only a self-belief that's hurting. And this includes anything. I brought up in Wisdom Dialogues in person yesterday. This includes muscle soreness from working out. It's like if you're walking around and, this occurred to me in this past week. That's why I'm bringing it up. It seemed like I had some pretty intense workouts with yoga, I think. Yeah, probably with yoga. I don't remember doing anything else. And immediately the thought goes to, it's because of working out. And I'm like, no, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. And, what is it that's going, no, that's not acceptable? That's another thought. That's another thought. That it's like, in the illusion, there are these thoughts going on. They're just going on. That's all. So all that you're asked is just don't pursue the ones that hurt. Just don't pursue the ones that hurt. So I'll hear like, oh yeah, it's from working out. If I say that I'm sore from working out, like I say that with feeling like I believe that I'm sore from working out, then I'm making my body vulnerable in the world, making my body into something that's vulnerable in the world, which it's really not. It's not really true. The feeling of muscle soreness is only a projection. It's only a projection, and it has to be that the mind is taking itself as something that it's not. Okay, it's the only way any kind of soreness or pain or uncomfort or anything like that, which is super common, right? It's super common. It's like it seems like it's just part of life. So the next thought after, oh my goodness, it's from working out. It's like, no, it's not. The next thought comes, no, it's not. Okay. And that's only because that next thought is because there's questioning of the thought that it's from working out. There's questioning of that. There's like, wait a minute, I'm not sure I believe that. Wait a second. It's like backing off. It's not another thought. It's just backing off. Just don't pursue that one. See how it's so common, and people would say that that's common sense to say that, well, yeah, if you worked out and then you're hot, then you have muscle soreness, then it's from working out. And that's because that's the thought that just permitted to be the one. And so if there's just not automatically permitting it, another one will come. No way you're sore from working out. And then it's obvious, it's just obvious that there's no illusion that can affect the body, because the body is also an illusion. See, so working out is also, you could say, a prop in the illusion. Call them props in the illusion, because really it's one illusion, it's one thing. So working out is one, the body is one, the soreness is another one, and guess what? They're completely nothing. They're all projections. The cause and effect that are perceived in the world are projected from the mind to make it look as if the discomfort being felt, or even the joy being felt, is from the world. To make it seem like there's this dependency on the world and vulnerability to being harmed, to feeling pain. No pain, no gain, right? Even the motivation to have the particular workout or have the particular kind of workout or intensity of a workout, it's all part of one thing. It's all part of one thing. And you start applying that to stuff like, say, your job, start applying that to your job. And then it's like you could just show up and be there present and enjoy the moment and whatever it is that you happen to be doing without being bombarded by all these interpretations, all these different interpretations. The interpretations can just come and then they can just go. Oh no, what if I make my boss mad? What if I lose my job? Or I should be getting a raise or something. Just let the feeling sensation arise and subside, and all the good is coming. All the good is coming. Whether you're asking for something good physically, like you're asking for it, with your mouth, with your words, or, you're just enjoying the unfolding without witnessing your body actually engaging in it, everything is coming out of your vibration. Everything is coming out of the way that you take things. So if you take it as if, oh no, I don't want to lose my job, that would be bad. then there's a certain energy vibration that's taking place in your body's energy field that everyone can feel. Everyone can feel. In fact, when you're thinking about a person or a situation or circumstance where other people are involved, when you're pursuing thoughts on something like that, those ones who are involved in that scenario with you or in your thoughts, they are going to experience those thoughts. They're going to have a sense. They're going to have a sense of those thoughts. Isn't that for fun? In this way, we can save each other. See? You see how that works? Because say, Lori, I'm thinking of you, and the thought occurs to me, for instance, I don't know, Lori, you know what? She really spends too much money. That thought occurs to me. If I believe in it, if I believe in that thought, so then I'm adding things to it. Maybe I'm adding evidence to it. You know what I saw her do? You know what she said? Whatever. I'm adding evidence to it. The feeling of that thought is what Lori is going to experience through sensation. See? You see how they're just like these feelings are circulating? And especially when you're in like a close relationship, like say your husband and wife, for instance, this is a good one. You know how a lot of thoughts come about the partner. And when a lot of times those, not a lot, maybe not a lot of times, but when they do come, they're intense when you have a negative feeling about your partner. Right, Lori, can you attest to that?
Totally.
Yeah, because it's like, that's your freaking partner. Like, right? Just like, that was like, and it's really tempting to follow those thoughts. And you could feel that the balance of those thoughts. And when you know that you're basically giving that feeling, it's like it's something that you're offering. See? And that's going on all day long. All the time. I mean, I've talked about this before. I talked to some psychics where they say, yeah, if you go to a game, like say a baseball game or something like that, and there's a stadium of people, their energies are constantly darting out and reaching out. They don't even have to know the person. It's like they're and they could see how it's affecting, and it's like a dance. It's like a dance that we get into, and these are these little hooks, it's like all this energy circulating, that's what the illusion is about. Say that. It's like all this energy circulating. So if you know that whoever you're thinking about at the time is feeling this with you, basically, because it's you're feeling this, you're feeling it, that's what you're giving that to them as a sensation. You could say it would be a body sense. And people notice a lot of times, and I'm definitely one of them, who will just notice a sensation like whoosh, and it'll feel like something, whoa, and it's like, oh no, okay. And it'll trigger your own set of thoughts to go along with that feeling that apply to your life and everything like that. See? So it'll seem like, it's like someone has you in their thoughts. It'll seem like it's just one of your things. It'll seem like it's just this energy circulating.
So it's just like if somebody comes to you and actually says something to you.
Exactly.
A gift.
Exactly. That's right.
If it's felt, somebody projecting that I'm spending too much money, if that's felt here energetically, it will spawn, if it's believed here, it will spawn all kinds of thoughts to support it. If not, it'll just pass right through.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. This is an interesting thing too. So they're not projecting any thought for you that's not believed in the body's energy field. See? It's not there. You can guarantee, because it gets a sensation. It gets a sensation. It's not that's all it is. And see, that's why I talk a lot about paying attention to the body's energy field and how your emotional sensation is changing all the time. How that emotional sensation is changing all the time. Because a lot of the times you'll sense something, you'll be able to sense something, and just allow compassion for that sense, and what I mean by that is when you're aware of a tightening up, when you're aware of a constriction, yeah, Candy Cat's here. When you're aware of a constriction in the body's energy field, which may manifest like a tense muscle, a tightening up or something like that. When you're aware of it, it can get what it needs to relax, almost like it's getting the nutrients or the information or the attention that it needs to relax there. And basically that's a thought relaxing, or you could say it's you relaxing off the thought, kind of like stepping off of it.
Oh, she's such a sweet
love. Yeah. And every time there's that sort of stepping off of a thought, like you just realize that you're following it. You just notice that you're following it. And all it is you're noticing it. You may not even step off of it right away. You may be noticing it for a little bit, that you're pursuing a thought that makes someone out to be less worthy, making it appear that someone's interest is separate from yours.
Yeah.
And that would include your own self.
That happened today.
Yeah.
My daughter-in-law is really focused on her body and working out and getting really buff. I mean, big muscles and everything. And I was saying it to Angie. I said, "Have you seen Angels?" And the minute she said, "Oh, cool," I was like, "It is cool." But this was judging it as not.
Awesome. Don't you love that?
Yes, I love being found out. Yes.
Well, yeah, it's like it's kind of like you're joining with yourself, coming in another form to look at the ego is all. It's not as if you're caught in anything.
Right.
When you join and look at the ego, I mean, there's no person. First of all, you come in, you come as awareness. That's it. Just as awareness of these things playing out, these bodies playing out. You're not identified. You don't have to identify. You can if you want. Most people do that for a while. You don't have to identify though with the different aspects of what seems to be yourself, because that's not the way it is at all. It's more like your awareness, and you're having an experience as awareness. There seems to be this experience, at least you're aware of an experience of a body. And as awareness, you can use the awareness of that body for healing your mind. That's all it's for. You use the awareness of the body for healing your mind. So if it seems to you that you're caught in something, that's just another sense of body awareness. That's not the truth.
Well, isn't it the ego just being caught in its own illusion?
Yes, you could. Yes, that's it. And it's like it's like this. The ego is made so that it's very crafty and powerful.
Right.
You know, it's made so that it's very crafty and powerful, and it's basically like doing the job you asked it to do. Make this thing real as can possibly freaking be. That is the job. And even when you go looking like you're going to look through it, the ego will put up a really good front. And when you look at it like, wow, we're all just undoing this ego together. And that's our gift to one another. When we take some kind of negativity or something like that, like when we perceive someone being negative about us, when we take that as if it's not part of the fun, then it seems hard, and it seems like it's like a heavy thing. It might make the mind run about, oh my gosh, what do I do?
Take it personal.
Exactly. But since it's all for the same thing, like even if someone doesn't like you, apparently, someone acting that they don't like you loves you so much. And it takes a lot of love to put on that show. It takes a lot of power, let's say. Love is the power. Put on that show like you don't love and you're just love.
That's what you are, yeah.
It's so amazing. It's a testament to what you can do. And, that's why creating is so much easier, because you are love and creation includes only love. See? It's simple. It's easy stuff. But it's like, oh yeah, the ego will be like, oh yeah, what about this? Look what this person is saying about you. So you need to think about this. You need to chew on this a little bit. And look what happens. I mean, if you watch, you'll see what happens when you're chewing. Let's say you're chewing on a thought. When you're chewing on a thought, maybe you heard, like for instance, today I heard someone was talking mean about me, and I was like, really? And it's like, it's so sweet, And then I'm noticing as I'm in conversation, that thought about the person talking mean to me will just occur to me. And then another thought occurred to me, and it was like, do you know what we could do that's the sweetest to everyone? Is to just stop chewing on things. That would be the sweetest. It's like,
it would. Don't you think we all want that?
Yeah, but you can't just stop like that. See, that's the thing. You have to be so gentle with it. You have to be so gentle of it. That's why I'm saying, the thought occurred to me. Doesn't mean the thought is true. In fact, no thought is true, but the thought occurred to me. Oh, that would be so nice. That would be so nice if, everyone just like didn't chew on things. And then look, as soon as that thought occurred to me, then it occurred to me again about the person talking shit on me. But then it was gone quicker. Just in that willingness, gentleness, gentle, holding it gently, watching the unfolding. The thing is, we are so distracted. We'll be sitting there having a conversation with one person, and another thought will come in about another person somewhere else. Or maybe something about finances. Or maybe something about the kids. And it goes so unnoticed most of the time until you're willing to notice. You're willing to just start noticing. And there's different things that can be played with too. Like one of them, my friend Gail, who's not on today, but she might hear this. My friend Gail told me some years ago, and I think I've mentioned it before, but when you're having a conversation with someone, look them specifically into their left eye. Into their left eye. Now she had a reason for it. I forgot what the reason was. It's not really relevant to me, because I noticed that when I had a focal point like that I was able to pay a lot more attention in a conversation.
That's just so funny that you're saying this, because I was talking with my brother-in-law tonight, and he's a wealth of knowledge about real estate and all, and I was literally locked on his left eye.
Oh.
That's not a joke. And it even came to me, wow, that I was doing that.
Well, we're super tuned in together. We already saw that.
I just think you freaking said that. What the fuck?
By the way, Wisdom Dialogues isn't for kids if you're not into letting your kids hear cussing.
Exactly.
Oh, what the? This happened an hour ago. A couple hours ago. I've never ever noticed
Well,
that.
you're going to start seeing a lot more synchronicities too. You're going to start seeing a lot more synchronicities as you're opening up like this, and the thought structures are unraveling. You start to be more alert and aware of things. See, there's always synchronicities. It's just that they just pass you by. They just pass you right by because of all of the distractions.
Right.
So you start to notice more synchronicities, in these little things. And even just noticing that you were focused on his left eye.
When you said that, I had to actually think, because I remember looking right into his left eye, but I didn't, the word left didn't make,
Right.
But
Right.
as you said it, I remember looking at him and seriously focusing. It was the left eye.
Yeah, that's interesting, huh? So if she was on today, she would tell us. I think and you might look it up. I don't know. She had some good training. She had this was formal training. Christine went there too. It's called Landmark. I've talked to a lot of people.
Oh, Landmark Education. Scott did that for a while.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
Phoebe says that's what she does. She
Oh,
looks
okay.
into the other soul by looking in the left eye.
Oh, okay, Phoebes. That's awesome. Ah.
She texted me too, but my phone is way the hell over there. I think she's texting me.
Oh. Yeah, so that's definitely helpful, but yeah, and also being real gentle with yourself, not expecting yourself to be in any particular place, at any particular space in consciousness, because what it comes down to is you are awareness only, with nothing added to it. And see, having the perception that you're in a body and in a world only came up because you wanted to be more. You wanted to be more
Than just awareness.
You're not more than that. And you can change your mind. You can change your mind.
Change your mind about what?
About wanting to be more than awareness.
About wanting to be more than awareness.
Yeah, and the way that your mind is changed is through getting that feeling. Getting that feeling. Every upset feeling is a body sense of that will to be more than awareness, which ends up being a guilty sense because it makes the illusion that you did separate yourself from awareness, and now you're sorry for it. Okay? That's where that
guilt comes from.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ah.
So it's like, that's why Jesus would say the word repent. Repent. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. And repent, it's like step off that train. Step off that train that says, I want to be more. I want to be special. I want to be better.
Right. That whole better thing.
Yeah. Okay, Molly's raising her hand again.
Yay.
I wonder if this means Molly would like to speak. Let's see. I'll unmute and see what happens.
Aloha.
Being permitted.
Aloha.
Yay, Molly.
Yay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my love.
But we don't see you.
Oh, good.
Okay, yeah, so if you want to be seen, you just let me know and I pop you up to panelist.
I'm actually in the bath.
Oh, great. You know we would love to see you in the bath, but up to you.
I had a dream 3 nights ago that I couldn't see out of one of my eyes. It was like stuck shut and it was really frustrating. There's all these characters in the dream. And when I started to wake up, I was like, open your eyes. And I opened both of my eyes and I could see this beautiful light in my room. And then same as you, Lori, as I started to think about it, I was like, it was my left eye.
What in the world?
I've been thinking about it for the past few days. Like my left eye was shut and I've been like contemplating that and thinking of it as the intuitive eye being the feminine. But I also like what you said. I don't know. It's just fun to, it's just fun that you guys said that. And everything you've been saying is just so perfect for today.
Oh, yay,
Same
Molly.
here.
Just wanted to say that.
Thank you for making it like that.
Oh.
What we needed.
You're welcome. I love you both.
Love you, Molly.
Hey, Molly.
Aloha.
Aw.
Hmm.
So if anyone wants to talk, you can raise your hand, unless you're looking on Facebook Live. If you're looking on Facebook Live, then go to, excuse me, I got confused for a second. Go to my Facebook page and look there. I did a post with a link. On with us. You can ask questions and stuff. So there's a question here now from Alana. Oh, and Alana's coming on. Okay. Yay, Alana.
Hi.
Yay.
Hello, how are you?
So stoked.
So it's the same question I wrote in the chat. I just didn't know if you had seen it.
Yeah, I was just looking at it.
Yeah, so I've just had this crazy fear coming over me lately that I am going insane.
Great.
Like
Great.
this fear of insanity, and that if I tell someone what's on my mind, I'm going to be put away. Just like that reality is not reality, and just like, oh my God, I'm going crazy. Like I don't know what's going to happen to me because I'm going crazy. And I didn't know if you could speak to that at all.
Oh yeah, that is so common, Alana. That is so common. It's just it's just repetitive thought patterns going out of control, apparently, because they're getting a rise out of you every time. You understand what I mean? Like, not that. Not going crazy. It's all a feeling. It's all a feeling. I'm telling you, I had one friend who called me from a hospital where they were like doing some things on her brain or something to check how crazy she is. She's like, Hope, do you believe me now? And I'm like, no, you're still putting on this whole show, the doctors and everything. And now she's out of that whole thing. She's like,
Nice.
done with that shit. At least so it appears.
But they want validation from us.
Yeah, totally. You get, yeah, take an intense one like that. Like, oh my God, they're just going to lock me up. You know what the solution for that is? let yourself feel what it feels like to have that reality of being locked up right now. Get the full feeling effect of it. Let it intensify in your body, and then, be done with it.
Mm.
It's over. Then the fear. The fear is what is making the thoughts keep on generating. And it's also going to start produce, if it hasn't already produced, it's going to start producing evidence that you are insane.
Yeah. It's doing that.
That's what you want. You're asking for that evidence. You're asking for evidence to prove that your belief is true, that you are actually capable of that.
Interesting.
And it's undisputed that you are right whenever you have a belief and you're like, is this happening? Is this happening? Is this happening? You're asking the question. That's already the belief that's asking the question. Oh my God, am I going insane? That's already the belief you have gone insane. It's asking the question.
Right.
I mean, according to the ego, we've all gone insane. It's insane to separate yourself from reality where you got it made. But it's like, hey, look what, from the ego's point of view, it's like, hey, look what you've done. You've really screwed up.
Yeah, well, it's funny because a lot of things haven't been getting to me lately. I've been on this just healing so much, and just nothing is affecting me. And then all this, nothing is affecting me, but I'm just feeling really good lately, feeling like manifestation is coming, and then all of a sudden this is coming. It's it's the only thing that can really get a rise out of me. So it's just eating at me because everything is pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just the ego. That's just the ego. The way the ego's programmed. If things start to look like they're really good, you get this backdoor fear that something now has to happen.
This next shoe's gonna drop, or
shoe's gonna drop. That's it. The other shoe, something like that.
Shoe, right?
Yeah. When I was I think maybe just over 30, maybe 31 or something like that. And I just had my second kid, and I told my mom, yeah, I've got a girl and a boy and an awesome husband who loves me, and I own a home, and now something bad's gotta happen. And I totally heard myself say that. My mom's like, that is not true. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. That is so not true. but see, I'm glad that it came to consciousness like that. That was I'm 47 now, apparently, and that's 16 years ago. And it really made an impression on me to hear that, to hear myself say that. I really made an impression on me. It's whoa, what is that asking for? What is the prayer in that? See? Yeah. It's always got, so when times are good, it's so funny because I've talked to a lot of people, and you got the people that consider themselves the have-nots, right? The have-nots. And I'm a have-not and they're a have, right? And they think and they really believe that only if they had more they would be happy. And then meanwhile, the people who have more, they're dealing with this kind of mental thing.
Yeah.
It's it doesn't matter. Suffering is suffering. It doesn't matter what it is. Oh yeah, but I'd rather do it with money. It feels exactly the same. It feels, whatever feeling it is, it's a feeling it is. It really doesn't matter what the circumstance is. It doesn't matter what circumstances people seem to be in or whatever like that. It's the feeling that's generating the whole illusion. The whole illusion is a projection of feeling from the body's energy field, which is like a sounding board for what already occurred in the mind. It's the past playing out. Revealing, that's what it's for. It's for revealing
what's being believed.
Yes.
Because it really nothing happened.
That's it. And providing the opportunity to choose again, to choose differently. So every time is that opportunity to choose differently. And, I've described that choice in a lot of different ways, but everyone comes to their own knack for it. They get a knack for it. They come to it on their own through their own inner teacher. It's not like I have a specific method. I just point to different ways. But, it has to do with letting that feeling to intensify in your body. You're making a choice for basically not following thoughts that attack yourself. It's something other than that. At one point when I was first getting started, I'm not sure how I found out about it or whatever, how it came to me, but I realized that as soon as I was aware of my body, I was not pursuing thoughts. And I knew that was an awesome thing because then I was getting more sensitive to the feeling. So what I would do is I would just pinch myself.
To stop the thought.
Yeah, maybe not hard, but just until I could feel a sensation of any kind. Until I could feel a physical sensation. And that takes, in the face of these kinds of crazy thoughts, let's call them, since they're talking about you being crazy. in the face of all these crazy thoughts that only because you've been believing them, it takes great courage to pay attention to your body's sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
See? And then the ego will tell you, oh, that's not going to do anything. That's too simple. That's too simple. And you better be afraid of this thought.
Right, because once I get back into the body, it's going to show me that nothing is really happening.
That's right. It's going to show you, it's going to bring you back. Yep, you already know nothing's happening. But you lose sight of nothing's happening because this sense of you being crazy is taking over. But, it's one funny part in the Course of Miracles. It says something about a thought occurred to you that you were unworthy and you forgot to laugh. So it's like this thought occurs to you that you're going crazy and you just forget to laugh and you keep on forgetting to laugh until it gets really serious.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Something happened today.
Sorry, Lori, go ahead.
It's okay. I'm sorry. I started talking without even saying. Usually, anyway, we were doing something together. My nephew and my sister and I were doing something, and he had to leave. My nephew, and the wind was blowing big time. So there was a cup there, his cup with water, and it was only about this much full. And I had a thought that the thought came, wow, is that wind strong enough to knock that cup over? But then there was nothing done. And sure enough, maybe 10 minutes later, that cup fell over and I went, oh, I just had that thought. So did I manifest that cup tipping over? That's what Angie says.
It's all a play. It's just a play.
It's a
play. There's nothing's really in sequential order like that. It just looks like that. It's like fun. It's like tickling you.
If I had because she was saying it's tense, past, present, and future tense.
Okay.
And depending on which tense I was in, because it's all happening at the same time, if that thought was done, if I followed through with doing something about it, there wouldn't have been but then I was like,
you don't have a choice like that. You don't have a choice like that.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yes, you don't have a choice like that. It's just playful. Let it be playful. Don't let it be more than that. The illusion, it's just playful. All all it's for, it has two purposes. One for the ego, one for you when you're ready to disarm the ego. See? It's like for the ego, it has the purpose of distraction. Okay? For you, when you're ready to disarm the ego, it has the purpose of awakening, and that's all. It's really meaningless in itself. So let these things just play.
Okay.
There's no I like that.
Right. There's no person. Right.
There's
Right.
there's no I like that. Manifesting manifests out of one consciousness. It's one consciousness manifesting. Okay? And it's always going to be mysterious. It's always going to be mysterious. That's what's fun about it. You don't know. You don't know how it's going to present itself. But don't get distracted and take yourself as something that needs to be analyzed. You know, it's like you can let it distract you if you want to, and you will for a while. But then once you're ready, don't let it distract you anymore. Just laugh. Just have fun with it. Don't take anything serious. See? So yeah, you know, everyone has friends. Everyone has friends that'll point out how you're not, you know, not quite with it. Okay? That's your mind trying to convince you once again that that belief is true.
Yeah.
See? That's what's fun about it. That's what's fun about it. It becomes very playful. It's not like, oh, I really don't like her. It's not like, it's like when you see it as what it is, it doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's like, oh, glad that's not an issue. Because it's not real.
Not real.
That interpretation, whatever interpretation we're making of the world, is a misinterpretation. It's not real. And especially if it speaks to any kind of upset feeling, any kind of negative energy you seem to have with another person, it's just not real. So you can just love right through it. Just love right through it.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that doesn't have anything to do, look at this too. It doesn't have anything to do with your action. It does not have anything to do with your action. The loving right through it has to do with feeling. Whenever that person occurs to you and you feel like you've been, what's the word? Jilted? Something like that. Dissed. And you feel that feeling, the way that gets healed is recognizing that you're doing it all. You're doing the feeling, you're doing that person saying that thing to you, and you're doing this projection right now. And
Wow.
when you get the energy of that, it's like you stop attacking yourself because you find out you are doing that.
You're doing it. So a question would be, what am I doing to myself in this moment? What?
Well, the best you can. It's not like you're going to act against your own best interest. You know, you're not going to act against your own best interest. It's just that you're not sure what your best interest is. For the most part, you know, if you're under the guidance of the ego and you think that there actually is another person dissing you, then you're so mistaken on what you're perceiving. Your point of view is just completely skewed, you know.
Right.
It's not, that's not what it is. It's a projection from your own mind. What is appearing to you is not as it seems. What is appearing to you is, you can say, yourself. What is really appearing to you is yourself. And, you know, there's nothing separate from you. There's no one separate from you. And if it's hard for you to wrap your brain around that, You can say you're looking at another aspect of the whole, which is just as innocent and pure and worthy of everything as you are. And when they come to you in these forms that seem like they're not loving, they're unloving, that's when you can accept their gift, because that unloving, that meanness or whatever you're perceiving is what you asked for. You asked for so that you too can heal that pattern together. Remember, there's only one of us, but then I said you too. So it's like these separate perspectives coming together, apparently separate, these separate perspectives, because they've made themselves separate. They've given themselves separate interests. Okay? So these separate perspectives that have separate interests come together and look at the ego and look at how the ego's playing. Exponential healing that way. So here's how it is. If you're always open to that kind of healing, if you remain open to that kind of healing, you remain open to the fact that this is my projection and we have no separate interests, you remain open to that, then you become, in effect, everyone's teacher who doesn't know that yet. Not by espousing wisdom, okay? Not by espousing wisdom, but by the way you interact.
Right.
See? By the way you express, through your expression, you become a teacher, so to speak. And I'm saying when, because everyone will, when they answer the call, I'm saying, when they answer the call, don't lose sight of that. They will. When they answer the call, then you're no longer their teacher. Now you're joined with them and you're both looking at the ego together. And it's like in the Bible, it says every eye will see. Every eye will see. Everyone will accept the call. Everyone will accept the call. You might not see it in a physical sense. You might perceive a person that's like really angry at you and then you never see him again. But the call is universal. The call is universal. So as they go about, they're still going to be meeting you in other forms with the same call to joy. See?
That's beautiful.
Aren't we excited about that?
Yeah, that's so perfect for me right now. Perfect.
Oh, good. That's good. I mean, and the thing is, it's like, be patient.
Yes.
Patient, because this conditioning is heavy. It's like when I hear, like today when I heard someone saying mean stuff about me around town, the initial was, like that personal. But then after that, it's like, aw, it's like, aw, that's so sweet.
So you can say that's sweet.
Yes, it is so sweet because, there's no one there to be a personal target like that. It's really not personal. When someone's not feeling good, then they say mean things. That's just how it goes. Because to the ego, it seems like saying the mean things is better because, in fact, when you say the mean things about someone to another person, you get a sense of relief.
Yes.
You get a sense of relief.
Because you're only saying that to yourself. Normally, if you're projecting it on somebody else, it feels better.
Yes, it feels way better. It feels way better. So you get a sense of relief because of that. Now the projection isn't on their self anymore. Now the projection's on me. Great. Because I can take it.
You can take it. Yeah.
I can take that.
Right.
And that's totally fine. Go ahead. The projection on me. Because when I hear something like that, and then the mind comes back to remind me about that, it's seen, and it's like just love is allowed to be there. if I'm going to follow something about it, if I'm going to pursue it, as in, kind of like having a conversation, and like role playing, like having a conversation with her, and this is what I would want to say, this is what I want her to know, or whatever, however that goes for you.
Yes.
When
That's
you're
exactly what's been going.
Yes, when you're seeing that play out and you're willing to go back to the body sense, which is actually projecting that, because there is another person there, really. And body sense actually projecting as if that person is mistaken, faulty, I don't know, whatever, judgmental. That reminds me, I had a thanks, Phoebes. I see you, Jay. I'm going to call you Jay. It says, I'd love to share tonight, but I don't want it to be public. Just saying, oh, I love you. We're going to have a convo soon. And if you would like me to talk about something without mentioning your name, just write it. The only other one that's going to know is Lori, because she's a panelist. And if anyone else has made a panelist, they'll know what you wrote if they want to go looking for it. All right, there's the down low. So that reminded me about someone who wrote me, where was I? Someone who wrote me on, was it on Facebook? I'm not sure now. It was like, there's a feeling to it, but I don't have it now. I got distracted with it, the writing. Well, it'll come back, I'm sure, when it needs to. So we were on this thread, and there were a couple of ladies who wanted to come on and talk to me, which would be really fun. They're not on here today, but we were on this thread about children, and it was really fun. It was the one that was putting restrictions, right? The one about putting restrictions on children. So I was talking about putting restrictions on children being a physical demonstration of guilty consciousness that the adult is dealing with, okay? Putting restrictions on children. So first of all, I was asked, what do you mean by that? And I said, anything that says they cannot do something, it does not matter what it is. Or they have to do something. That could be the same thing. It doesn't matter. And it's not saying you're wrong if you put restrictions on them. It's not saying you're wrong if you do. Okay? It's saying that this is a manifestation of this. It's a manifestation of something that the adult is dealing with. It's a guilty consciousness being played out. And that's really wonderful to see. It's really wonderful to see. You don't have to try to stop it. It'll stop on its own when it's not necessary anymore. You'll know it's not necessary because you're just not even motivated toward that kind of activity. The activity begins in the mind. Okay? You might have a situation where one friend brought up, well, I saw my son at something like he was going over in a chair and almost landing his face in some boiling water. So I restricted him from the kitchen. And it's like, okay, look, there's the body sense playing out. It's like, oh, and all this stuff starts happening. Just awareness of it. That's all. Just looking at the awareness of it. And, it's like, how could you say that's motivated by guilty consciousness? It looked like I went to restrict him because I love him. Yes. But the need for the restriction that arose in the first place, it was as if there was a danger. See? It was as if that was something that was dangerous. And it's good. It's not a bad thing that the body was made to play out to stop this thing from occurring. That's just the way the body sense is going to play out like that. Okay, that's just how it works. It's how it works. It just works like that. It doesn't mean that when you recognize what's playing out that it's going to put people in danger. It's not going to put anyone in danger. You knowing, and in fact, the opposite is much more true. Much more true. Notice I say much more, because nothing we say is really true. We're only pointing. But the opposite of that is much more true, because when you recognize what is playing out, it's getting undone. So there's less incidences, appearances of harm, appearances of danger.
It doesn't need to play that out so it doesn't happen. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like the ego takes immediate offense to that. Like, oh my God, I don't want to look at what kind of restrictions are you talking about? I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about all of them. And then that extrapolates to, that one's more like an impulsive. Let's say it's impulsive. You see this thing happening. Okay, for the rest of the time I'm cooking, you're over here. Then that kind of thing gets extrapolated to the adult making ideas about the world, about things in the world that are dangerous, and putting restrictions on the child. You can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. There's a lot of manipulation that goes on with that. There's a lot of chewing on it. There's a lot of making these children into vulnerable bodies who are susceptible to harm in the mind. And that's the only place it happens. This chewing is making it as if people are susceptible to harm. Let me give you one example too that came just like this past week. I have a 17-year-old son, and he was out cruising around over the weekend, and he didn't call, and he didn't return a text from my husband, which we usually hear from him. So he didn't, and it was the next day, and I go, oh, I wonder where he is. So I start looking for him, and immediately it's like, okay, there's nothing wrong. Obviously, there's nothing wrong. There's a feeling like, oh my God, what if? Or a thought, oh my God, what if something's wrong? It's like immediately the compassion goes to that feeling. The compassion just goes to that feeling. It doesn't go to, oh my God, something's wrong. Oh my God, oh my God. And then that lets the actions be smooth, so it's not like you're calling people, freaking them out or anything like that. I found myself calling a friend of mine and my son. I said, hey, if you see Blaze, let him know that I'd like to hear from him. And he goes, what, you haven't seen him? And I said, no, not since yesterday morning. And it was like the following afternoon. And he goes, oh, okay. So, then my son called, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, I get it. Oh, I get it. You just want to be out without calling. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. It's like, you just allowing the freedom to be, not like, oh no, I can't let that happen because what if this and what if that, what if this. Hey, oh, okay, I get it. No need.
Right.
So then there's no need for it. So it'll be interesting to see the next time I have the perception, my son didn't come home, and how that feels, and that's all it is. It's just it's like the surface is just like a play occurring. And when you recognize the play occurring, there's only love. There's only love that's shared. We're not projecting these fearful things toward each other, making it as if, no, you have to call me, because if you don't call me, then I'll be worried. You got to protect me from that feeling of worry by calling me.
And that is it. That's it. I have a girlfriend who does this with her son. She's petrified of him. Well, the one I've been talking about ever since I started talking to you.
Yeah.
The son went through all the drugs and all of that, and now he's doing awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in that same pattern of nagging and constantly I had a really good talk with her today, though. I think, whatever.
Well, okay, so it goes back to that we were talking about earlier, about when you're recognizing that everyone has the same interest, then you're the teacher in that relationship, right? You're in a kind of in a role like that. You're just, it's automatic. You don't really have a choice in that, right? It's just automatic. So it's like you're the teacher in that role. And, you know, for you, it's just like, you know that it's all fruitful. You recognize that everything that you're motivated to share from your heart with her is fruitful. That's it.
Yeah, it felt fruitful. It
Yeah.
felt, it really did.
Yeah, it is. You know, and it comes down to that feeling, that motivation to share from your heart. That's what it really comes down to.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, when you feel that and you go with it, it's always fruitful. It's getting them closer and closer to having the courage and knowing that they could make that choice. And then they're joined with you. And then you're both looking at the ego together.
Mm.
See that? That's why I like to say, be patient, but don't wait. Always let the heart lead. Always let your heart lead in all of the situations and all of your relationships. And, you know, you can trust that everyone else is going to come around because everyone else is you.
Love that. There, yeah.
And with every interaction with you in that teaching role, they're getting closer to that point. Okay. I've heard another person say it. He's a book writer. I don't remember his name. Otherwise, I would say it. He wrote the book "Busting Loose from the Money Game."
Oh.
The way he put it, there's two phases: phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1, you think you're a person in a world, and you're out to get something for the person. Phase 2, you realize that the person and the world are in you. Okay, there it is, Robert Scheinfeld. It's a really good book, Busting Loose from the Money Game. The subject matter is money, but it can apply all the way across the board to everything, every kind of thing. Yeah, check it out.
Okay, so say that again. You first find out.
Well, phase 1.
You think it's about money.
Phase 1 is that you think you're a body in a world. Yeah.
And there's money.
Well, yeah, of course.
And success.
Big part of the world. Big part of the world that we made. And there's money and there's a game. And money is a game.
Right.
And you think of money in a way like there's you, yourself, and then there's money.
Right.
You know. And I might not be talking about it like Robert would, but you know, it's from my point of view. And, you know, you think about you in a way like it's yourself and money in phase 1, and then in phase 2, it's all within you. The yourself that you thought you were, and the money and everything else, it's all within you. So then you don't have this sense like you're lacking something. Like for the most part, people are walking around with a sense like they're lacking something.
Because they've split themselves off from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, but not intentionally.
Yeah, it's like it's like intentionally, not intentionally. It's like, oh, this inkling, oh, I can be more. It's like, yeah, but then look what that is. You have to modify yourself a lot. Okay, so I have something. Okay, right. Jay, it's been over 15 years and I lost my temper tonight in a really bad way. My husband recently cheated on me and did it twice, and we are getting a divorce, as we have talked about. But I completely lost it. I am terrified of her. Thought she was dead, and I'm feeling guilt and feeling shame and feeling afraid that I did it. I feel I have taken 1 million steps backward, although I know that it is all happening now. But I cannot say how horrible I feel. Her meaning the evil twin that I thought was gone. Okay. I said that I would hit her with a bat. What the fuck? Okay. And I lost my temper. Completely lost it.
Nothing is wrong.
Once she was dead, I feel like I'm taking one. Yeah. Well, of course. That's for sure. So you're terrified of her. Well, that's obvious because that would make you want to hit her. So, you're basically saying that you're terrified of yourself. Maybe that's what you mean. Thought she was at, oh, yeah, I see. Oh, I get it. I said that I would hit her with a bat. Oh, okay, I'm getting it now. Thank you. I was thinking there was some woman and I was going, what did I miss? All right, yes, I get it. Okay, yeah. So there's a separation. This her is a separation in your mind. She's a bad person. She's a bad one. Oh, and let me know if you want to talk to me. I see your hands up. I wasn't sure, but just type it there if you want to. So it's like this her, she's been held out. You could say she's been held outside of her mind as if she's bad. So you're like holding her out as if she's a bad, and I'm talking to this part of yourself that you're calling your evil twin. It is Rob that I am so, actually, it is Rob that I am so hurt by. I don't care about the lady, really. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. So, because I know how much you've been through and how, you've been around, and it's not actually Rob that you're hurt by, right? You're not hurt by him. He's like an expression of the hurt you've caused yourself. She says, for sure. Okay, thank you. So he's an expression of the hurt you've been causing yourself. And by the way you talk about this evil twin that you thought was gone, this is where the issue is, because she's been held apart from you. She hasn't been allowed into your heart. I am talking about the rage. Yes. Okay. So yes, that rage, she hasn't been allowed into your heart. So it's like your husband, Rob, brought it up for you. He brought that up for you so that you could feel that. Yes. That fearful feeling again. I know. It comes up as if something's really wrong. We've had a couple, 3, 4, 5 of these conversations. And when the fearful feeling thought dynamic crops up, it gets a lot of attention, like, oh no, something's wrong. I have to make it better. I'm wrong. I just took a million steps backwards. I wouldn't say that. I would say that this is a huge transformational experience. If this occurred to me and I went off in a fit of rage like that, I would be like, oh my God, that was transformational. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. See, nothing has gone wrong with you blowing up like that, losing it, as you would say. It's bringing this thing to a head. This girl, that you want to hit with a bat, innocent little child that you want to hit with a bat, is not deserving of that. Yeah, neighbors too. That's how. Get it all out there. So that's what happens. Like, you could say that it's like a wild animal is like pent up in this cage. It's like there's this little child, right? It's a little innocent child. And it's like this child has been neglected, totally disregarded. I thought she was gone. It's like an orphan. It's like you orphaned this part of yourself. So it's like that orphan part of yourself turns into this wild animal that's so angry. It's like clawing, like breaks that cage open eventually, breaks it open again eventually. Basically, that cage that you had her in, it's just made up of thoughts that resist her. Deny and resist, deny and resist, deny and resist. So when things happen, you've got this stoic appearance. because I don't feel anything. But it's like this denial and resistance keeping this girl in a cage. She's just a baby. She's just a baby. Innocent baby. Now she looks like a raging animal. See? So it's time for that raging animal aspect to be played out in the body's energy field. And that's why this has been brought up. And, you know, your husband, Rob, you could say that he is like your saving grace in this. Okay? Because what's being brought up here, letting this child out of the cage like this, that's a huge gift. That's a huge gift. Without this kind of thing, it had to be that intense. It had to get that intense to feel it. It had to get to the point. It had to get to that point to allow her to bust out. So it's like, Rob, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. You know, like this is his gift. This is his gift to you. Okay. Is that it's like, okay, time for her to come out. You're getting a divorce? Fine. What a wonderful gift that you got out of that marriage. Because now that sweet baby that you've been trying to leave aside, and you can't leave her aside, she's part of you, is going to get the care that she's been looking for. Basically, she's been looking for this care. And, you know, you could picture Rob as saying, hey, come on, let her out of there. See? There's this idea that, there's this idea that we shouldn't be suffering. We shouldn't be suffering. Okay, look, no one is worthy of suffering. And in fact, no one is suffering. No one is suffering. It's actually impossible. But if you have the perception of suffering, if you're aware of a perception of suffering, that awareness is there because you want to have that awareness. You want to have that awareness. So it's not as if you should try to make yourself more stoic or picture this wild animal aspect of yourself as separate from yourself. That wild animal aspect is the natural reaction to having a body sense, having the sense that I'm in a body. You are unaffected. You are unaffected by any feeling, no matter how intense. You are unaffected by feeling. The ego pretends to be unaffected by feeling. See the difference? When you know that you are unaffected by feeling, any feeling can come and be expressed through you. It's okay. Because you are unaffected by feeling. And afterwards, you can go and say, hey, thanks, man, for playing that out with me. And, my apologies if got rough with you there. Yes, but not the murderer. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm so glad you're laughing. It's like, the idea like he did it, he betrayed me, he all this stuff. It's so much more loving, and you want it so much more to have that perception of being betrayed than you want, or whatever it is. That word just popped out. I don't know. Then you want to just go along like business as usual, keeping your lion, wild animal Julie in a cage, and she's the key for you. She's the key for you, because once she's allowed to have her day in the sun, so to speak, so much clarity is going to be there for you. So much clarity. So many gifts. That's the way it's playing out. Wow. It's all playing out within this energy field, though. It's only when you make it into, okay, I'm judging myself on how spiritually advanced I am by how I feel. Feelings are illusions. If you say I'm judging myself by how I feel, I'm going to judge myself by how I feel, spiritually advanced I am by how I feel, ego's going to have a field day with that. First, the ego's going to be like, okay, you made it. Look, you only feel good all the time. Or you just feel, I hear people get to the point, and I heard it on Wisdom Dialogues a couple weeks ago, get to the point where they're like, but I'm not feeling anything. Like I don't even have a zest for life anymore. That's a good sign that you've been compartmentalizing like wild animal parts of yourself, the wild animal. Let that wild animal out if that's what's natural. If that's what's natural, And what I mean by that is just let that sense of, oh my God, I want to freaking kill them, intensify. Let it take you over. And then watch what happens. People don't let it intensify for the most part. They do not let it intensify. They only let it intensify to the point where they have to project it. That's the thing. Only let it intensify to that point where they have to. It's the only way. It's the only way. And I described that before as like a pimple that needed to pop. And I would say to someone who reacted violently, I would say, better out than in.
That's true. More painful inside.
Yeah. I've even had someone do some violence where the apparently, I know it's not them, where like a mirror fell off my wall and some stuff got torn down and stuff, and then they come back and say, I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, I loved it. And I said the same thing. It's better out than in. It was just like a pimple that needed to pop. It's like, oh, thanks. It's like, oh yeah, you can have any expression. You can have any expression you need to have. The most fun thing for me is when someone can just express how they feel. It's a little bit different when they're holding it inside and just doing the projections, which I could feel. I could sense the projections. Like I don't know exactly what they're saying or anything like that, but I can sense that there's an uncomfort. I can sense that there's an uncomfort. But there's so much where there's a sense of uncomfort, but people don't say. They don't say, hey, this is what's bothering me. Or whatever the reasoning is, or I'm feeling like this because of this. My friend called me Wild J, and I laugh because I don't see it. She says, oh, she's there. Not what I tend to do. I don't deny an ego, as you know. That's so fun. So it comes back to, you're not the one doing these things in the play, You're not, unless you consider it in the way that you're doing everything. You're doing the feeling, you're doing the things, you're doing whatever. But you as an individual aren't an individual acting within the play. So you as an individual are never, judging the individual as if that's you is completely, it's just insanity. It's just insanity. To judge the individual like that's actually yourself. That's like a thing playing out. You can say it's kind of like a plant. It's kind of like it starts as a seed, an infant, pops out, grows like a plant. You don't have any say in that. You don't have any say in how it goes down as an individual like that, But the whole thing is projected from your consciousness, and it's based on feeling. So when you deny a feeling, like say the feeling of rage, this sounds like rage to me. Something had to bring it out, dang. So it's like when you deny the feeling of rage, then you're going to get rageful when you least expect it. And you're going to have the perception of rage. But there can be fear of the individual. I'm not sure what you mean about that. Fear is fear, and it's based on unreality. So if there's fear of an individual, that's also based on unreality. Which individual are you referring to here? Not that it really matters, but you know, if there is a fear, that is unjustified, and you don't need fear to move away, let's say be moved away from a violent situation, because whether you're moved away from a violent situation has to do with your energy more than anything. You know, you could find yourself moving away from one violent situation just to go into another one. That occurs all the time. People wonder why. You know, it's pretty easy. You can see it. You can see it. Me, she says me. Okay. Yeah, there isn't anyone to be afraid of. See, when you say I'm afraid of myself like that, and you know, this is usually not something that people just know about themselves, but you know, you are afraid of yourself. That's how it is. The body sense is like that. The body sense is like that. So it's like as an individual, the individual is afraid of itself. That's how it goes. But then on the other hand, there is no individual. See? So you get to keep the fear as long as you make the individual real. And see, that individual fear will keep on cropping up in different forms. Those are the opportunities you gave yourself to see through, and also to help all of your brothers and sisters who are really yourself to also see through. Isn't it sweet? Yay, Candy Cat. Okay, let's see if I have any questions over here.
Scared us to death.
Oh, this is hilarious. I'm just fucking around. My energy field told me to. Fun. Just love right through it. I really like that. Okay, cool. So no questions there. 18 comments. I don't even know. That's a lot. Where are they? Where are they, Ron? That's weird.
18 comments. That looks like 5.
Yeah, it looks like 5, but there's 18. Okay, that's awesome.
No, actually, that looks like 4.
Looks okay.
On Facebook.
On Facebook Live, yeah.
Alright.
There are a couple. It says 18 comments, but I don't see them.
There's 4.
Yeah, that's fun, huh? So, oh, thank you too. I love you. I love you. It is sweet. And you know, I know these things get rough, especially when things get intense and you're dealing with this idea that you have backslid. You know, in Christianity, they call it backsliding. You might know that. But it's a real, what?
Not possible.
Yeah, it's not possible. There's no backwards. There's only forwards. That's the thing. But if you take it as if I went backwards, that's a win for the ego. I went backwards. Okay. Well, you're going to see evidence of that. If that's what you want. Is that your final answer? Oh, thank you for my phone call listener. I don't know who you are, but thank you for joining. I appreciate you. I appreciate you on Facebook too. Thank you. If anyone has any more questions, go ahead and pose them to me. Otherwise, I'll see if something else comes up. And I'll be signing out soon. Yay. Braun, did you want to say anything?
No.
This is a good time to say something. You're hungry? That's a cool thing to say.
I'm going down.
Ron is hungry. I don't know what comments are there on 18 comments. That's funny. I don't know what comments are there on Facebook, but I don't see anyone raising their hand. I don't see any more questions. So let me just sit for a moment and see if anything else comes. You can't be late or have any bad timing. You cannot be late or ever have bad timing. You're always on time because there's no time. Time is an illusion. In fact, when we make appointments with each other and stuff, it seems like we're going to be there at a certain time, but we're just imagining it. And you know what? When it seems like someone's late to an appointment or didn't make an appointment or cancel an appointment, they have no power over that. They have no power over that aspect of it. They only have power over, and we only have power over how we look at it. How we look at it. And that's everything, because that's what's making the manifestation. That's what making the manifestation of people being late or showing up at the wrong time. And you know, reminded me of that because I have my friend Thomas on today. Thank you, Thomas. And I was at his home, I think it was yesterday. Yeah. And he was telling me how I always show up on time. He's like, you always show up right on time. And, you know, I'd like to thank you for that, you know, Thomas, because that's the way you make it. That's the way you make it. Like, I just show up on time, and I thank you for that. And if I get the impression that I'm not showing up on time, that's also the same as showing up on time. See? It's kind of like, oh, you could say, I was ready to receive you. Oh, no wonder I'm here. Hey, you showed up right on time. No wonder I'm here. So I can be on time. Yeah. Isn't it fun? and there's no space. There's no distance to travel. There's no distance to travel. And you start to see that more and more as you go about your daily day. I was saying your daily day, and you know you seem to be going for these certain errands or different things like that. It's all just a distraction. It's not like the errands can't get done. That's the first defense of the ego. But then nothing's going to get done. Oh my God! It's not like the errands can't get done, because your body is being played out. You know, it's a play. But when you're recognizing what it is, and more importantly, you're asking this question, what is aware of this? You're asking that question, it's going to be seen in the light of what's really true, and you can enjoy and float through and just be moved through all of your things, all of your different errands, chores, apparent duties. Just be moved, even your job. Just be moved easily instead of feeling as if you have to be at a certain place at a certain time. You might find it a little bit disorienting at first, but isn't it worth it? Maybe you find yourself late a couple times and you feel uncomfortable. Maybe you find yourself late a bunch of times, you feel uncomfortable. But once you break through that uncomfort, you realize there's no late, then you're having fun with all of these illusions. The illusion of time, space, everything. And you know you don't need a body to participate or to communicate. You don't need any body to communicate, so you don't need to even have this, what are we using? Zoom, Facebook Live to get this message right now. You know. The message, when the message is received in one mind, it's received. Yay. So, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. We're back every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Hawaii time. Not necessarily on Facebook Live. I'm alternating between Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So, we do record. We're recording this one for YouTube. It'll also be on YouTube. And if you want to join, check out the link. I posted a link on my wall today. That link's good for maybe 40 some more weeks. So it's a good one. Grab that link, go ahead and register, and you'll get notified if you want to join next time. Also, Wisdom Dialogues is sponsored by our wonderful essential oil company, Miracle Botanicals.
Yeah, it's sponsored by us.
It's sponsored by our company, yes.
Yes. We are sponsoring ourselves.
Woohoo! Imagine that. Lori's over there half asleep, yawning. It's almost like
I'm going down.
oh, one time we heard you snoring. That was the best. That was the best.
That was my husband snoring, not me.
Okay, right. Let's make sure we get that perception correct. That came out of his freaking head, not mine.
There was one time that I completely fell asleep, and I didn't even know it until in the night. My computer was on my lap, just like this. I was gone till the middle of the night. I was like, what?
You get in bed with it. That's good.
Yeah, I'm in bed. Well, you start at 9.
I know.
And, oh, jeez,
I'm surprised you're awake.
I'm going down.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love you. I
love
appreciate
you
you joining. Thank you to everyone who joins. And if you would like to see my videos, wisdomdialogue.org. Also, I have a book coming out called Unschooling for Parents. I just saw the back cover. Oh my gosh, so cute. It'll be coming out soon. So just stay tuned for that. And until next time, yay, mahalo, Phoebes. Mahalo, Lionel, I love you. And Molly, thank you. I appreciate you. Until next time, aloha. And a hui ho.